Beatrice waited for a time so that she could show Dante eternal beautification. Though she was longing for what seemed like a long time, it was only said to him, "Behold the host of Christ's triumphal march, and all the fruit harvested by the rolling of these spears." Canto 23, 19 through 21. When the Florentine poet was upon his muse, he saw that her indescribable happiness other than comparing them to a full moon and stars on a clear night. Looking above, he witnessed what seemed like a sun that illuminated the 6 stars. Dante realized the spiritual reason for this as whatever masters the virtue is from which naught steals itself. There are the wisdom and the omnipotence that opt the thoroughfares twixt heaven and earth, for which there are so long a yearning. Canto 23, 35 through. Dante saw something so extraordinary and supernatural that it overstimulated him. During this process, he apparently closed his eyes. Suddenly, Beatrice told him to look directly at her. He now was her full glory, without fear. The Florentine poet doubted that all the works of the classical poets could only describe 1,000% of her glory, and he smiled. When Dante committed his experience to writing later, he was able to comfortably bear the gravity of his constant state. Beatrice, realizing how focused he was on her, recommended Dante for ignoring his surroundings. She instructed him to look upon the church triumphant in the rose. As he did, he had to let his vision overpowered by such glorious light. Once his eyes adjusted, he saw countless fiery souls inundated with Christian virtues. Seeing them, Dante hoped that the Father would permit him to take possession of being eternally present. When Dante saw the rose, that is St. Mary, something was summoned from deep within him. The reason for the mentioning of rose in connection with St. Mary is because of the rosary and her importance to the church and Christianity. I stated it this way so that those that belong to denominations that derive from the Protestant schism would understand why she is important to this poem. The great Florentine poet saw what seemed like a large burning torch descend upon her and encircle her head. He then heard a melodic torch was actually the archangel of the cherubim. Mary stood among other lights that were the church triumphant. These souls abided in the 6 stars just beneath the premium mobile, which behaved like a regal mantle over the lower spheres stars. The premium mobile, also known as the crystalline sphere, was the swiftest sphere due to its proximity to the Father. It was into this realm that, as Dante watched, St. Mary ascended. How able to see the crystalline sphere, so he could only observe St. Mary's ascension so. As the Florentine poet watched her ascent, he also witnessed the souls adore their mother figure with the hymn Regina Coeli. This beautiful hymn requests Mary to rejoice at her son and the merit she earned for giving birth to him. So wholesome was their ethereal recitation of it that it engraved something in Dante's mind. It allowed him to ponder how the church triumphant had labored and served in life for his glory and now enjoyed the treasures which had been stored up for them. These victorious souls abided in the purest definition of the word abide. However, Dante noticed that among these men and women who were the saints of the Old and New Testament stood a particular he who does keep the keys of such a glory. Canto 23, 139.